I would like to cordially introduce the newest member of the KDNM family. Meet Horatio.
He's breathtaking.
Yeah, he sure is.
Do I pet him?
I don't think so. He doesn't seem to like that.
What does he like?
Dandelions.
You know, Joanne, a pet is a real responsibility. You sure you can handle?
Frank, he's a tortoise. I can handle a tortoise. I pick up some extra lettuce, give him some water. What else is there to worry about?
Absolutely nothing, I guess. Except for the whole live to be 100 thing.
Oh, his owner told me not to let him out of my sight. Isn't that cute? He wants us to bond.
And people say it's hard to forge meaningful adult friendships. I'm going to need to find some tiny headphones.
So, we have a mascot?
Until he poops in my console.
He wouldn't, would you? No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
All right. Slow count today, Joe. 3,
2,
1.
Good night, cuties. Welcome to Josie's Lonely Hearts Club. I'm your host, Josie Heller. Let's spend the night together. I don't know about you, but tonight I am feeling deliciously languid. I want to take it slow. I'm ready to take my time with each and every one of you. If you're patient, I bet I could fit all of you in. Would you like that? Of course you would. Because anything worth doing is worth doing slowly. Let the shows in Scottsdale and Needles overclock themselves. Let them hustle their nuts off, trying to scramble to the newest, shiniest thing. We know better, don't we, my lonely hearts? I think tonight we can slow down as an act of radical defiance. Stay in, have a nooner, soak up the afternoon sun like a tortoise. Indulge. You see, that's why my speech tonight is short and sweet, so I can give you all my deliberate attention. Have you ever been hypnotized? Maybe you already are. Give me a call, and I'll gum up your works. Surrender to my ministrations and let time slip away. Step into my pocket dimension, right over here. The password is 555-505-KDNM. Frank, let in our first guest, won't you?
You've got it. Coming up first, we have Norman, calling in from Deming.
Norman from Deming, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jesse. I have a kind of complicated question here. Would I be a bad guy if I kicked my son out of the house?
Why you want to kick your son out?
Well, you know, I think it's time. I mean, you know, we get along great, but you know, he's 74 years old. I think maybe he should be on his own.
Your biological son, Norman?
Yeah, yes, my biological son. I'm 92. He's 74.
That is quite a life you two have had together. He's been in your life for 74 years. It just feels like time to let him go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little more complicated than that. You know, I was kicked out by my old man when I was 16, and I had a real tough time of it. Let me tell you, it was miserable, and I didn't want to do the same thing to my kid. I thought, you know, that's not right. It's not like he's a malingerer or anything like that. He's a good kid, you know, he works. But, you know, it's complicated. He's a writer, and he's been working on the same project now for, I don't know, about 50 years.
Really, this is going to come down to, are you making this decision for your son's sake or for your own sake?
Well, you know, it does get complicated around the house sometimes. I mean, I'm a widower, so it's just the two of us, you know, and our health aides. And, you know, it's a little annoying when we mix up our pill holders, you know, and suddenly,
right.
like, you know, I'm just feeling all woozy. He's feeling all cranky. It's not good. But the crux of it is that I'm in love with this homemade. And we're going to get married. And we haven't broken it to him yet, but you know, she's saying, look, if we're going to do this, we got to do this right.
Well, I want to congratulate you on finding love, later in life, especially as a widower. I think that's really wonderful. If your son can leave, well, then maybe you're right. No time like the present.
I'm concerned about the timing. I mean, he's very, very, very close to finishing this thing. He's been working on this multi-volume biography of Robert Caro. If you're not familiar with Robert Caro, he's a famous biographer himself, historian, who's been spending the last 50 years writing this multi-volume series about Lyndon Johnson, and he just can't finish it. And because he can't finish it, my son can't finish his project.
Oh, what a quandary that must be.
I don't want him to feel that he's unwanted. I don't want him to have to do the kinds of crappy things I had to do when I was kicked out of the house.
You want to be a good dad. You want to do better than you got. And that's all we can ask of ourselves as parents and humans, is to just try and be a little better. Oh, it's wonderful. Well, then I feel like you can just say, hey, son, the past 74 years have been for you, and now it's Dad's turn.
It feels a little mean.
Look, if you don't want to, there's no reason why you'd have to, unless it is strictly this woman's prescription.
I don't want to blame it on her. I mean, I know that at the end of the day, I just want what's best for my son.
Maybe your son feels like he should stick around to help you out.
Yeah, that may be true, but he does spend most of his time in the basement with all the research papers that he's got flooding in from all over the country, all the places Robert Caro's eaten, all the people Robert Caro slept with, like
exhaustive
everything.
Work, it sounds like. I think you can feel a little bit better about yourself because you've clearly done the right work as a dad. Gotta push the baby bird out sometime or another.
Well, kicking out somebody who's not ambulatory is really, it's hard.
I knew there was something. How does he get in the basement?
It's like he doesn't leave the basement. I mean, that's what the aide, is up and down all day.
A lot of up and down for him, maybe not so much for you.
It does have an impact.
I think that your selflessness and your prioritization of his needs is something that is really, really noble, but there's nothing wrong with you having your own life. If your son has been working on a novel for 50 years and has a health aide, then there isn't really an ethical reason why you can't be in two separate households.
But I'll miss him.
Oh. Well, if it's as simple as that, well, then, Norman, don't you do anything. You just maybe, soundproof the stairwell.
That's a good idea, actually. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. There ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of rattling bones going on just to make sure that he can be a little isolated from it. Some things you just never want to hear no matter how old you get.
It's like the city motto, Deming. Once you come here, you can never leave.
What a quaint, but also mildly ominous town motto. I'm holding out hope for you guys and really, really glad you called in. Thanks, Norman.
Thank you.
Wow. Hey, cuties, turns out it's never too late for love and never too late to have a couple of birds and bees talks with the kiddos. Who we got coming up next, Frank?
Next up in the hot seat, we have Ellis calling in from Sunland Park.
Hey, you can hear me okay?
I sure can.
Sorry, I'm in a pickle. I'm a real pickle here, Josie.
Okay, tell me how to help.
Well, I break up with my gal. It was very toxic. This relationship was just tough, toxic. She's like, it's narcissism.
Oh.
She pretty much ruled the nest. I want it dark in this apartment. I want it dark all day long. So curtains closed, and we go out at night. We're out all night, and you're never coming back, and it wasn't healthy. So I had to call it quits.
Good. I'm glad you're on the other side of it. So the dilemma is related to this ex of yours?
I haven't moved out. She hasn't moved out either. We are stuck. You want to know why we're stuck?
I do.
Because the rent's too damn high.
So you can't afford to leave, and neither can she. Whose name was on the lease?
Both of us. Both of our names are on the lease.
Oh, boy.
I mean, we've carved out our own spaces in the apartment. I mean, she gets the bedroom, I get the sick bed. Or the sick couch.
Well, that doesn't seem quite so fair. If you downgraded to roommates, how are your boundaries? Because if this woman is as toxic as you say she is, it could still just be an insidious place to stay. You don't want to stay with somebody like that who's wielded that kind of influence.
I know, but I feel like she's got some sort of power over me. She's got like it's got to be wrapped around her finger. She's always spouting off, saying crazy shit like, I'm the queen of the damned. And I'm like, what? I don't even know what that means.
Maybe that's her sort of Stuart Smalley manifestation of the day. She looks in the mirror and says, I can handle anything. I'm the queen of the damned.
Yeah, no, it's not really so positive like that. She keeps the place clean-ish. I do most of the cooking, but she's always like, no garlic!
So, you should go. You should get out of there.
She's got something on me.
It can be really hard to break the influence of a toxic partner. It can feel like you are mesmerized and helpless without them and dependent on their...
She does see every guy. She's bringing other guys home.
Excuse me?
You want to know how difficult it is?
You know I do.
It's her birthday, so I make her a very special key lime pie. It's her favorite. She brings the guy home. Next morning I wake up, they have eaten the entire pie. Left nothing for me. Left nothing for me.
If you had told me nothing else, that'd be grounds to get this gal out your life.
It's fine. It's fine.
Listen, I don't think you should be such a doormat, buddy. I think you should stick up for yourself and say, I am ending this relationship. I am severing whatever ties there may be between us. I don't know. And be sure to say that you aren't invited here. You're not welcome here. I rescind any invitation.
I'm gonna try this right now. You queen of the damned, are not welcome in here anymore.
Yes, that's great. Try it again.
You queen of the damned, get out.
Get her out. I'm telling you, for your own survival's sake, get her out. And I'm telling you, you get your head right and the rest will sort itself out. But as it stands, you've already got yourself a pretty great banishment. I like your banishing voice.
Queen of the damned, leave me some pie.
You hear that? Do you feel that? Do you feel that power?
That feels good.
Good.
Queen of the damned, get out of this house.
Yes.
Queen of the damned, you don't come back here.
Yes.
Queen of the damned, you don't tell me that I can't cook with garlic.
Yes.
Queen of the damned, you leave me a slice of my pie.
Yes. That is excellent. Now you get out there and you rescind that invitation. You hear me?
Will do.
All right, cutie. I believe in you. You're going to get that dark entity out of your life.
Thank you. I believe in you too, Josie.
All right, cutie, stay right where you are. Don't you move a flippin' muscle. We'll be right back after these messages.
All right, that is ads.
I really got to sink my teeth into that last guy.
You know, I'm suddenly craving garlic bread.
Right off the bat?
Oh, come on. That pun sucks.
Wouldn't stake my reputation on it.
Oh, God. I've created a monster.
I learned it by watching you, Dad.
Oh, we shouldn't fight like this in front of your son. Think of his development. You know, before you know it, he'll be off to tortoise college experimenting with other tortoises. You'll be wishing he had these days back when he was just a little buddy in a, box.
What's up?
Joe, where is he? Where's Horatio?
Don't give me that.
No, seriously, where is he?
What?
Oh, don't panic, but we're coming back from commercial in 5.
He was in a box.
It's a room. You're in a box. It's fine.
Where could he have got to?
4.
Frank, we have to find that.
Joe. We will find him, but 3, 2, 1. Breathe.
Welcome back. We are allowing time to slow down, but that doesn't mean that Frank isn't quick on the uptake. Hit that button and let in our next caller.
Are you sure you just don't want to have a little less time, you and I, just to reflect on life?
We get so much us time, Frank. It'd be a shame to broadcast it. Let's keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I just thought that maybe, we could just bond a little bit, take some time. I mean, I do have actually a return caller.
Oh, I love a good return caller.
Yeah, if you want him. This is Alex from Albuquerque.
Alex from Albuquerque. I think I remember. Alex from Albuquerque, welcome back to the show. You're still here.
Hey, cutie. So I'm calling in with a story. So I dated someone once upon a time, and when we first met, we were working at the same place, and she was seeing somebody else, but as time went on, they were sharing a little bit about how the relationship wasn't working, and we were developing kind of the, work-wife.
The unstable home. I got it.
Help her rid herself of this raccoon infestation. That involves some scratches and a trip to the ER and some shots. I think I'm just ready to make that change in my life, that rather than investing in things that don't work out, which, might be part of my own personal self-sabotage. I travel in and out and can't expect somebody to be tied to me when I'm barely tied to the same geographic region that they're in. And
Yeah, very, very, very cogent and smart takeaway, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and I just think that I'm in a different place in my life now, and that especially if I can find the right person who also likes a little bit of adventure, a little bit of just bringing some joy to the table, I'd like to...
On air right now.
Yeah, Joy, the table, great idea, table. Didn't think about that.
Table wasn't what I would have focused on there, but I just think it's time, to really make something, some worthwhile moves again in terms of to indulge and enjoy, but go all out in hopes that something could really come from it, something really wonderful and beautiful.
I'm glad that you came on the show. And because I think it's really important to say, and that is, giving it breath, giving it life, making sure that you can, because we have to find that slowness. We have to find.
Are you okay, Josie? You seem to be a little off balance now, and I just kind of want to check that you're okay.
Your slowness that you have is important to you, and I think that you should find it and keep it.
Okay, so
keep it somewhere and just keep an eye on it. It's so important that the moment you lose your attention on your goal, which in this case is to be quiet. To be slow and indulgent. That you keep that goal in sight and not let it leave. So the fact that you've come on here and made this your goal and you so that's your ambition.
So are you saying that this could go slowly?
This
maybe you and I could go out for dinner sometime. I mean, just keep it simple.
Yes, you got him. You got it. You got it. And that is such a good development. I'm happy with everything you have said.
Wow, you're so excited.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for grabbing that. Lifesaver. What you have said is so clear and so true.
Yeah, it was a little hard for me to come on and say that, but I'm glad you feel the same way.
I'm so glad you did. It's easy to get lost for a little bit, but then eventually, we pick ourselves up and find ourselves again.
I'm really excited.
I think we understand each other.
To have connected this way.
You're obviously a repeat caller, which is so valuable, and you're always, you're welcome back here anytime.
Great. I'll take you up on that, cutie.
Yeah, you really handled that one in a snap.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see you come out of your shell.
Thank you. Well, let us continue. With our next caller, do we have somebody looking to slow down with us?
Next up, it's a slow dance, and your partner is Lydia from Carlsbad.
Lydia from Carlsbad, come a little closer. Put your hands on my hips. Let's dance.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me jump right in. You want stories about taking it slow? I have the slowest, okay? So there's this girl. We just started dating, and I know that this is kind of jumping to the conclusion, but it took us so long to get there. Downright glacial, Josie, I'm telling you, okay? I met her in college back then. Almost 15 years ago now. We were both in the ghost hunting club, all right? Now, she came at it from sort of this, like, mystical angle, witchy and all of that wonderful stuff like that, right? But I came at it from more of a science one, like real analytical, like challenging her, like bouncing off, we hit it off real quick. I could see the sparks.
Scully Mulder.
Exactly, but gay, right? I could see the sparks. No, everyone else could too. She was hot, and I'm not talking about just because I had the thermo camera, right, in all of our ghost hunts. We never really made any moves, because you said it, like Mulder and Scully. X-Files, right? Like, it's about the slow burn. It's the will they, won't they, But here we are, going out on our ghost hunts, and then we both graduate. Move on. Still hanging out here in Carlsbad, all right? But, this is a strange place. We got the caverns and everything. So let's settle into another pattern. Let's keep this going. We stay in touch.
Yeah.
And it became more of a thing, Now we're watching movies together, right? We're going on little weekend trips together, right? Still chaste, Like I said, just little glances across the room. We got paranormal activity screenings here, little B&E to an abandoned insane asylum there. We're cooking with gasoline, all right? But nothing's afire yet.
Yeah. So it's like a ghost hunter Bonnie and Bonnie.
Exactly. So here we are. I finally make a move. We're standing in the execution chamber of this condemned prison.
Oh.
There are cobwebs everywhere, right? Sent to death. And I lean in, and I go for it. Most romantic night of my life. She leaned right back in. All right, let me tell you, worth every second of waiting.
I am transfixed with the please do not stop.
All right, so here we go, kicking things off. I'm thinking we're in it. We're in it to win it. We're done. This is the later seasons of the X-Files. We're about to go off into our supernatural sunset. But then it just kind of stalls, I'm ready to kick it into high gear here, and I can tell she's interested. Like, she's bringing me sage, she's kissing my cheek, like she's making all these little comments about what we'll get up to in the back of our mystery machine. But that's it. It's been nearly months now, and we're sitting here like this had just happened the other day. I finally ask her, it's been months.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Are we just spinning our wheels? Do I have a ghost of a chance with you? Like, where are we at? You know what she says?
What'd she say?
Well, babe, if we're going to be in this together, I want it for this life and the next. Isn't that worth waiting for?
Okay.
I know. Sweet. I'm speechless, too. But none of that quite takes care of the little problem, but things are still going slower than hell. And I can't... as much as I want to say I'm a believer, I'm not sure I'm on board with her about this afterlife. So what do we do about the current life,
That's what I would ask, because I would feel a little bit baited and switched. Pascal's wager aside, we still need to live as if we only have one life. So you guys are still together?
Yeah, for now. I was speechless. What was I going to say to that exactly? Because on the one hand, oh, how sweet and romantic she wants to be with me forever, right? Like, and it's been over 15 years, but, oh, Josie, that's too much. What am I going to do? Like, what's wrong with this body? Why do I have to be see-through in order to get going,
Now, that is interesting because it's not a reincarnation thing. It's the ghost. They want to have ghost sex with you as a ghost.
That's right. Not ghost sex like the fun, Patrick Swayze kind of ghost sex. No, I'm talking about nobody on nobody. That's what they want.
I am of the belief that, intimacy pretty much requires a body. That's sort of your admission ticket.
Yeah, I said that too, at least to a certain extent. No, but then she's like, oh, well, the greatest organ in sex is actually the brain. Like,
is she playing the field? Is she trying to, hold out for something better? And she's keeping you at arm's length?
I mean, maybe. I've seen her going around with, a Ouija board and everything, but I would hate to think that she was already starting to play the afterfield, without even talking to me about it first, right? I mean, yes, no, spell out your answer. That's no way to date. But I love her. Like, it's been over 15 years, and to let go of something like that for, a promise of eternity that I don't even necessarily believe in, I'm back and forth, Josie.
Have you guys had a tough talk? Have you... because I think you're worth somebody in the here and now, not the hereafter.
No, that's a good point. We haven't had the true difficult conversation, you know? Like, we started it, I wasn't quite sure to go with it when I realized her reasoning, but maybe it's time we delve into a deeper unknown.
So here's just have that tough talk, even if it sounds selfish to you. I want to love you now. Let me love you now.
Yeah, hold on, writing that down, because that's good. All right, well, I guess I better get into this current life rather than just being in this after one. So,
I think so. So just get busy living.
Yeah, that's it, because I ain't ready to die just yet. Let's go!
I can tell. All right, cutie, you have a great night.
You too, Josie.
Frank, that puts us at the end of the hour, doesn't it?
I believe it does.
I hate to leave you all, but we have had such a cozy night taking our sweet time together. But don't worry, you don't have to hop up just yet, because Frank is going to tell us all about the next show coming at you. And that show is Taxidermatology.
Yep, I have the copy right here. Join Frank and Esteban, the Dr. Uber combo that takes the field of dermatology on the road for all New Mexicans. As you're going from point A to point B, why don't you get those questionable moles checked out and that dandruff taken care of right from the back seat of your ride. I guarantee you'll give these guys 5 stars. Up next on KDNM.
That was so great. Frank, you're a gentleman and a scholar, as always. I want to thank all of my slowpokes out there. I'll see you next week. Night-night, cuties.
All right, let's get you to your mama.
Oh, come here. Oh, where were you? You had me so worried, you little escape artist. Sneaking and crawling and hiding and inching.
So, are you gonna call her?
Call who?
Alex.
Where's she walking around?
From Albuquerque. I got her number right here. You two can connect whenever you want. Just like you agreed.
Like I agreed to when?
When she was on air. And Horatio was on the loose, and she confessed her heart to you, and you said, "Give that heart to me."
I don't think I said that, but whatever I said, I was in crisis, obviously worried about my little man. I can't be held liable for the things I say while hunting for my tortoise.
Well, I'm sure she's never heard that one before.
I mean, well, in any event, what's the harm? I mean, she's close. Was she thinking like a hike or a pottery class, or are we just going to get together and have a couple beers and bitch about our ex-boyfriends or something? I could do that.
I don't think that boyfriends are really going to factor into it.
Oh, you don't mean she's a... Oh, she would... But, Frank. I haven't ever...
I don't know. It seems like you two have some serious chemistry.
Be that as it may, I couldn't even begin to date right now. I mean, I've got my hands full with this dude. He's gonna keep me so busy. Aren't you, you little jailbreaker? Aren't you?
What do you say, Horatio? I say let them date. Joanne deserves to find happiness, and there was something going on. I sensed a spark. Yeah, see, Horatio's into it.
Put the tortoise in the box.
Okay. And Alex's number?
Also in the box.
Where's the champagne? I have a new ship to christen.
Okay, Horatio, Uncle Frank doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's just mosey on out of here and pick you up some baby kale. Yeah!
Oh, good. Maybe we can get you a dress for your new date.
Come on, Horatio. We're gonna let Uncle Frank sit in his fantasy land while I pick you up some berries. Would you like that? Some berries? Maybe some escarole? Ooh, maybe some spring mix? How about it? We're gonna go home, watch ourselves a movie.
Tell Alex I said hi.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, kids. Josie's Lonely Hearts Club was created by Maximilian Clark and Rachel Music. Our callers this week included the talents of Adam Freed, John Grady, Maggie Dunbar, and Sarah Allyn. This episode was edited by Aliza Brugger. Josie's Lonely Hearts Club is brought to you by the Good Story Guild. Keep track of us on Instagram at Good Story Guild and join our Discord. And if you, our listeners, have relationship stories or questions of your own, record a little voice note. Send it to the email address in the show notes or on our Discord, and Josie herself might take a look at it next season. If you enjoyed the show, consider leaving a review wherever you want. Just tell people about it. Nighty-night, cuties.